Well, thanks to this movie, I now have to go watch every Dane DeHaan film ever made. I don't know where I'm going to find time to do that. So, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, directed by Mark Webb, which is just great. Because of his last name, I mean 500 Days of Summer is fine. And to briefly share my views of what I think of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films and the first Amazing Spider-Man. The first Sam Raimi Spider-Man film was fun, and I thought it was a good first movie. I actually think I might like it more than the first Amazing Spider-Man, but they're both good in their own right, but there was something still fun about the Sam Raimi film. Even though I do like Gwen Stacy more than Mary Jane, but and the second Spider-Man movie, the second Sam Raimi one, was actually good as well. And I think Doc Ock was a great villain. I think one of the better ones. We can acknowledge that the third one happened. No, I'll be fair. We can acknowledge that it happened, but we can just deny certain aspects. I think you know which one I'm talking about. And then as a reboot, The Amazing Spider-Man I thought did a good job. Admittedly, I have only seen it once, so I do need to watch it again. But I feel like it did a good job rebooting the series, even though I don't think the series needs to be rebooted, but whatever. Superheroes! So those are my general thoughts on the first those films, and now The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So we rejoin Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man doing what he does best, kicking butt and being a sassy pants. The movie starts off with Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy graduating from high school, and they're still together, kind of. Our main bad guy of the film is loner and nerdy Oscorp employee Max, played by Jamie Foxx, which is a little hard to buy, but he does a decent job. And then Max becomes Electro after an accident in Oscorp, and then yay, we have our movie. So as a follow-up to the first Amazing Spider-Man, this movie does a good job continuing the story. Peter Parker's a bit cockier in this one, which makes sense because, you know, he's Spider-Man, no more exposition, we get right into it. We get to meet Harry Osborn, played by Dane DeHaan. The one thing that did annoy me a bit about the Harry Osborn-Peter Parker friendship is that it was just too rushed. If they had mentioned Harry Osborn, at least in the first one, it just would have made more sense. The action scenes are really cool, all the slow-mo and the... like, that's all fun and good, and again, as a superhero movie, it carries on that, you know, tradition. And the chemistry between Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker is so great, but then the material that they were given just didn't match up with their awesome chemistry, so that was a bit disappointing. Even though it wasn't congested with villains, they still tried to fit too much into it in one film. And I will say that Andrew Garfield does make a great Spider-Man, and even though I do like the Tobey Maguire films, because I grew up with them, so they were fun and, you know, campy, and this is a more serious-ish, but you get to see the more fun side of Peter. But another thing I will say is that there's no real distinction anymore between Peter Parker the nerd and Spider-Man the, you know, snarky web slinger. It's just Peter Parker seems to have that same attitude as Spider-Man. I don't know if that is accurate. So that was a bit weird. So I'm going to give this movie a meh and a half, which is 3.5 stars. Wasn't terrible, but again, with improvements of the writing and other aspects of it, it just could have been a better film. I will do a spoiler review of it at some point. There are a lot of movies out and I want to get as many reviews to you as possible. Well, I did just finish my junior year of college, so I'll be doing more stuff like this, so I'm excited. Alright, that's it for me. Hope you guys are doing great, and I will see you soon. Doodles!